Manchester United need at least 7 players, yes, in the list to create squad depth and also, give us the ability to compete, on all fronts next season. That is, if Manchester United is able to get Champions League football. And this is the reason why I want to beg Michael Carrick. In anything where you do, Michael Carrick, I beg, make we no come out from that third position. If at all, make we actually go second, if possible, right? Yesterday, we saw Newcastle actually go out there and we saw Man City go St. James Park, go get 3 points. Yeah, beat them, and that finally, it hit me that we could actually do better, if we become proactive, right? And it's not about aggressive football. These other people could be aggressive, but Manchester United, I think that at the point where we meet these aggressive teams, we need to know how to hold on to the ball, how to move the ball a little bit quicker and make precise decisions at the time we're supposed to make it. Because we know that these people will not want to allow us play, but then we should be having a plan whenever we go out and playing all of these physical sides. That brings me to talking about the amount of players Manchester United actually need, to qualify, to actually be competitive next season. If we get the Champions League football, we need at least 7 players to come in. And when I say 7 players, I'm not trying to say 7 first team players or 7 starters. For a start, I think we need centre backs. We cannot hugely rely on Lenny Yoro and Aiden Heaven next season. And we have seen that Matthias De Ligt and Lisandro Martinez has shown us that we cannot rely on them to be actually fit, for the whole of the season. So we need centre backs, yes. And to complement Harry Maguire, because Harry Maguire right now is the only experienced centre back that we have that is not always injured. Now, if after the centre backs, we need about 2 midfielders also, because in that midfield position, we are going to be losing Casemiro, and we cannot rely on Manuel Ugarte. Yes, this is something that we know. We cannot rely on Manuel Ugarte, and also Kobe Mainu is not that kind of guy that Kobe Mainu have not come of age to actually anchor the Manchester United midfield. So we need about 2 midfielders. We need a box to box. We need a CDM. We know that these midfielders can be versatile. We can actually interweave them. One can play as box to box anytime. One can play as a sitting CDM anytime. Right now, in the attack, Manchester United needs 2 wingers. We need proper wingers, yes, and we also need fullback. If we look at all of these things, then Manchester United need like 8 players, right, to actually be very, very competitive next season, at least, because in that fullback position we have a Luke Shaw that we might not be getting a lot from him anymore. We have a Diogo Dalot who is not giving Manchester United an excellent performance. He's very, very inconsistent. But so if we get in new fullbacks in those positions, at least there will be competition for space, for places, and Manchester United can actually make, we can get that that opportunity to select out the best out of all the fullbacks we get, right? And then if we look at the our wingers, Ahmad is the only out and out winger that we have. Maybe Chinaze Dogu, but Dogu is out injured. So if you look at it, aside from Ahmad and Dogu, we do not have any more. So we need at least 2. Just create the competition there, because in as much as we are buying these players, also these players can also play different positions for Manchester United. At the end of the day, yes, we know that we're bringing in Cunha and what's his name, Cunha and Mbeumo. We bought them as number 10s. So if you look at it in that channel where Bruno, Cunha, Mbeumo all will operate, I think that we have that place secured, right? We have a lot. Then in that striker's position, I think that as we have Joshua Zexi, who to me is not has not, that physicality of his game has not come yet. But I think that Joshua Zexi alongside Benjamin Sesko will help Manchester United in that position on the long run when we are actually in different competitions, right? And then if we look at the wingers, aside from Ahmad and Dogu, we need overall we need about maybe 8 players, for Manchester United to be very competitive in the Premier League, in the Carabao Cup, in the Champions League, in the FA Cup. we need that squad depth, not just squad depth, also quality. So for me, I would think that Manchester United hierarchy can actually go out of Manchester United, out of England, maybe go to France, maybe go to Brazil. These are very good grounds for Manchester United to get good players, because in Europe we have players who are very expensive. But when you go towards Brazil, when you go Africa, you can actually get in those players that will give you 100%. Look at players from France. They are always coming into the Premier League and they are performing. So we know that if we get players from France, get players from Brazil, these guys will actually help Manchester United, because we know we are guaranteed of getting quality from these regions, right? And then we can actually go for Premier League proven players, the likes of Guimaraes, Tonali, Elliot Anderson, who can bring them in that midfield. Understand that in the Premier League, the midfield is actually a very crucial place. This is where a lot of things happen. This is where duels are won. This is where tackles are won. This is where the transition gets very heated. So everything in the Premier League, a lot of it happens in the midfield. And this is why, as a Manchester United fan, I will prefer that we go into the Premier League whenever we want to get midfielders to play for Manchester United, because it is the Premier League that has made them. They come in with loads of experience and they can play in that position. Sandro Tonali has shown really well this season. Yes, Bruno Guimaraes has actually won my heart when he has shown consistency and class, So I think that these players are actually very good, will be very good addition to Manchester United. It all depends on our salary structure, PSR and fair play, fair FIFA fair play rule, how they call, I don't know. But then all of the things that got all the things covering transfers. I hope that if Manchester United will be able to meet with the salaries of these players and all of that, I think that it would make a lot of sense for Manchester United to source midfielders from the Premier League. We can go outside the Premier League to source for maybe attackers. We know that attackers are bound. We know that when you come to the defensive side of things, we know that we can get very good defenders from Brazil or from France, those regions, right? But in the midfield, I, for one, would want to see Manchester United bring in capable, very qualified midfielders that will replace Casemiro. This is what I think. Tell me what you think. I've been named like 8 players that you think that Manchester United can go out there and get in that would transform the team and make us very, very competitive. I will see you again in my next video. But now, let's go to the comment section.